Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Caricature, and welcome back to my stunty, sexy, and scandalous little review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every one of the main stage runway looks of Drag Race Belgique Season 2. And prepare to see me looking like I'm going to a funeral a lot over the next week because I am doing 3 videos in this look. Listen, if I can just double or triple up on episodes, only have to do my face once to get all 3 videos taken care of, I will do it in a heartbeat gladly. I'm a busy girl. Got a full schedule. I've got a gig tomorrow night at the time I'm recording all 3 of these that I'm still not totally prepared for. It has been a doozy of a week. I've been very exhausted and very tired. This month is starting to catch up with me just a little bit, but I am proud of myself. I've managed to put up a video or 2 on a day that I've missed a day on. Every single day this month, basically. So that's pretty fantastic of me, in all honesty. We've gotten 50 new subscribers or so in the last month, which is pretty slay, and we are almost at 20% of the way to the 3,000 watch hour minimum that I have to get YouTube partner. So y'all, please keep watching the content, supporting the content, sticking along for the ride, whatever it may be. If you want to help rack up those watch hours, literally go put Persona 3 Reload on in the background, whether you like it or not, whether you care about it or not. It's a great game. It's got a great story. I promise it is worth it. And I think I'm quite funny. So like, if you want to see me more in a live context, that's the place to do it. But anyways, enough about me and all of that business. Let's get on with Belgique this week. What an episode. We had a potential cheating scandal with a couple of the girls reading the judges' notes on camera. Can you believe the fact that Star looks up at the camera and makes direct eye contact and they put it in the episode is so funny to me. Like, her and Gabbana, messy behavior from those 2 this week with that. But whew, what an episode. It was sort of a stand-up challenge, but also a political challenge where they had to pitch a law in a funny way. It was different. I didn't really know what to make of it, but prepare for me to not know a lick of what any of these references are this week because this week's theme was Belgium at Eurovision, which we do not have here in the States. My knowledge of Eurovision is very limited to a few songs from the last couple of years and Euphoria. That is it. And also ABBA. But other than that, that's all I know about it. So my apologies to you Belgian fans out there watching the content. I do see you in my metrics, so thank you for the support. I guess let's rip off the band-aid, so to speak, and get this going. As always, for anybody who is new here, if I think a look is just fine, passable, gets the job done, but is nothing super exciting, I give it an okay. If I love a look, we give it a slay. And if I don't like it for any reason, we give it a nay. And speaking of nays, I do kind of look like I'm going to the Kentucky Derby a little bit, but like after I've, made a quick stop at a funeral on the way, which is like kind of a serve, I do kind of like this pairing together. Kind of doing something for me. Let's get into these looks. Alrighty, first up we have Gabbana. She is recreating a look from Liliane St. Pierre from 1987. This coat, fantastic design. This is so good. Just the stoning detailing on this that Gabbana added is so precise. I love this hair. I love that the spiral comes down off of the wig, like down onto the forehead, and that stoning continues. It's just really smart detailing. This is my favorite makeup she's done in the entire competition. I love this really graphic eye and brow shape. The earrings are the right size. Speaking firsthand experience as somebody who's done a couple of pageants, if you make the earrings too big, that's a problem, and these are the perfect size. The stoning detailing on the collar that goes down the sternum in the center to really break up all of that black neoprene is a really good element as well that I heavily enjoy. My favorite part of this is this exaggerated silhouette through the neckline up around the shoulders. It's so good. Like, it's just a great overall shape, really great scale, really great silhouette. It looks really cool from behind as well. Like, it's such a simple and sleek design, but it works so successfully. The only thing I wish is that there was either some element of the detailing that's like up on the top, down the side of the leg maybe. I think that would have really just helped accentuate the line because when it's just the black neoprene, it does kind of read a little amorphous because of the fact that the lining on the inside of this coat is black. Her legs kind of get lost in it. I think had there been that detailing down the side, I think it would have added just like that extra little something that would have taken it over the edge for me. But in general, this is another fantastic design and another fantastic costume for her, giving this a slay, absolutely. Alan, you are turning these out every week. If there's designers whose work you really like on this show, seek them out. Go find them. They're cool people, I'm telling you. Up next, we have Alvida, whose look is inspired by the guest judge this week, Gustav. But this look is like so exaggerated into more of this really high fashion couture space. And she says that she's wearing stilts. I think that is such a smart detail because with this presentation, how long everything is, how long the silhouette is on the pant with how high cut the waist is, really allowed the designer to make this coat cape situation really, really long and dramatic. It allowed the hat to be more exaggerated just for the sake of proportion. Everything works here. This is immaculate scaling. This is just the right fit. It moves incredibly well. I actually really like everything about this is so good. So good. Just like, I love pants on the runway. I think it's a risk always because it can always read a little too menswear, but this is so fashion. Like, this is something I would see like in a Paris couture show. Fantastic. Slay, absolutely. Up next is Chloe Clark. I really like this for her. I think this is a really good vibe. The look that she is doing is based off of a performance from the 70s, I believe. It's a purple, very disco-y outfit. I love the sleeves. I love a bell bottom. So this is very up my alley aesthetically. And you always know I love a stacked pony, so I'm always a fan of that on the runway too. My favorite part about this is how the print element on the bodysuit and the chaps are inverted color palettes, where the bodysuit is a lighter purple with the darker purple accents, and the chaps are vice versa. I think it is just a really, really smart choice that reads really nicely. It helps really elongate her, and she's a very long lady to begin with. I think that just really adds to the effect. Her looks on the runway outside of the one that she made are all really, really strong. Absolutely giving this a slay. Up next is Lavove, who, when they said that it was the third BG, I lost my mind because with this hair and her beard, she really is giving like Barry Gibb, and I love it so much with this white suit. It is such a fantastic disco silhouette that I really, really love. So her outfit is inspired by Serge and Christine Kieseland, and I'm probably butchering this name. Apologies. They were from the 70s. This is very much like a 70s men's suit silhouette with the pants. It's so good. I love the blue shoe with this. In terms of this first look alone, the tailoring on this jacket is so good. These little like peekaboo baby blue elements that we get, I really enjoy. I think they're just like really subtle, nice touches that really pull the makeup out as well. And then she takes off the suit and she is in a very, very 70s dress that is the other half of the pair. I really enjoyed this. I think the fit on the dress is not the greatest. I do like the sleeve treatment. I think the skirt could have been a little more voluminous. Like, it spins really nicely, but I think when she's not spinning, it's just really flat. So I think she could have either done a little more volume underneath it, like put a petticoat or something just to give it a little more structure, so then when she'd spin it, have even more of a dynamic quality, which we all know I love here. So this is still really good. I think it's an improvement on the last few things that she's worn. I'm giving this a slay. And I think she should have been in the top this week. I'm kind of over them putting only 2 people in the top and 3 people in the bottom. Up next is Morphe. The only things I like about this are the lip shape and the hair. The dress is not flattering at all on her. It's just too boxy. It's really swallowing her up. I think the biggest problem with it is where it juts out on the hips. It doesn't jut out in the right spot. So it's up a little bit too high. It makes her upper body look really, really short. Had she brought the silhouette down a little bit, had the hips come out lower, it would have been a little more successful. I do like the detailing on the shoulders with the tulle. That's a nice touch. I think her makeup in general is always really interesting. I really enjoy her perspective a ton as an artist, but I think on the runway, it's just not a great presentation. And I think of all the different looks that she could have picked, she picked like a very simple black dress that, to me, this doesn't read as a reference look. This just reads as a black Morphe look. And when it's a reference themed challenge, I don't see enough of the reference in there, which is not great. So for me, this is a miss. I'm going to give this an A. Up next we have Star, who's also doing 2 looks in one runway this week. Starting off with this look by Ishtar in this little red and white peppermint moment. The hair I think is confusing. I get that it's like kind of a reference to her hair in her original performance where it's straight in the front and just kind of like slicked down, and then this big volume on the side and the back, and she just exaggerated that more. I think her hair is more successful than the original one, so I will give her that. I actually really like her makeup here. I love how large she paints and how exaggerated she goes. On top of that, this is kind of unrelated, but every single time I see her, just the way she talks, the way she moves, and also in her confessional look, she reminds me so much of somebody, and I couldn't figure out who it was until this week. And it's Alan Cumming. I could see her hosting the Traders in Belgium. I think that would be quite fun. But then she reveals out of this peppermint look into this kind of just normal red dance costume that does not look like the reference that they show on the show at all. I really didn't think that the after was much better than the before. For me, this is just okay. Then next we have Lulu Velvet. Now, her look is based off of Emily Starr, and this is another older reference look, and the reference they show is this white goddess moment with this like really short, really tight curly bob with bangs. I actually really like what Lulu did with this, where you can see the reference elements to this look. It does have that goddess energy, it does have the similar silhouette, the draped fabric, similar hair texture, and similar hairstyle. It still feels very much within Lulu's universe. It's not like a super bang on the nose, accurate depiction of that look. I love the gold pump. I love the armor detailing throughout this look. I think it's done really, really well. I love this pink color on her, and it flows really beautifully on the runway. My biggest problem with it is a little shapeless. I think there's just a little too much fabric going on. Maybe a higher slit or something. It needed a little something else to exaggerate it just ever so slightly further. But I think it's still a great look, and I'm giving it a slide. Overall, I would say this is a pretty solid runway this week. I liked a lot of these looks, even though I didn't understand the references, and I'm really enjoying this cast and this season a lot. But with that said, it is time to determine our slay of the day, my favorite look of the week, that will go into a post-crowning countdown video to determine my slay of the season, my favorite look across every episode, which I will eventually get around to making a complete illustration of. Belgique in particular is going to probably be delayed because I will be out of town for roughly a week, starting the day the finale airs. So I will be recording all my episodes over that trip from my hotel, so you won't get this lovely little background. But who knows, we may just have a special guest coming along for those episodes. But without further delay, this week's slay of the day goes to Alvida. It was close between her and Gabbana this week, but I could not get past how perfect the proportions were on this look. This is so good. My favorite look that she has worn across the season so far. She's been in the top every episode and she's won the last 2 challenges, so she is becoming a true force in this competition, and I have a feeling we're going to be seeing her for a few more weeks. That is going to be a wrap for me today. As always, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, ring the little notification bell, and until we see you again, be sure to go out there, stay kind, stay queer, and make sure your day is very slay.